Hello, and welcome to episode 158 of the Nintendo Fun Club podcast. This is a podcast about Nintendo and about fun, and sometimes about Sonic, sometimes about Metal Slug. And I'm Ryan, and joining me once again is John.
Good morning, Ryan.
Good morning, John. So we actually have a ton to talk about, obviously, because if you've been following Nintendo stuff, there's a whole bunch of people mad on the internet. So you can tell that Nintendo did some things. We are going to cover the Nintendo Direct that happened what seems like forever ago. The announcement of Labo, which is how I've heard it pronounced.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I've heard someone say Labo. I thought it was Labo.
I feel like both of those pronunciations are super weird. Labo, Nintendo Labo, like a
Labo.
lab, like because it's a lab.
Oh yeah,
like a science lab, but it's a Nintendo Labo.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
That's totally right.
I would think Labo.
Although
somebody said it's a French word. Is it a French word?
Uh-oh.
I like it better if it's a made-up word. Nintendo Labo. Nintendo ends with O.
Yeah.
Labo doesn't, but now it does. I like that reasoning.
Huh. We're gonna call it Labo. Let's just go with Labo.
Yeah.
I like it. I like Labo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Are multiple Labo sets called Labos, or does it just keep the singular form? Would you just say I have some Labo here?
That I don't think that's settled yet, but I would apply the amiibo rule if I was given the option. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
so no S.
Yeah. In this house we don't say amiibos.
Right. No, definitely not.
No.
Also the question is,
we do sometimes say Joy-Cons though.
Yeah, which yes.
That happens. I gotta say. I'm not proud of it, but it happens.
Yeah. That is not the condoned nomenclature, but in terms of usage, I think it's practical. It happens.
I think when we look at the etymology of Joy-Con over the next 100 years, I think we'll probably see it evolve into a plural.
So welcome to Nintendo Fun Club. This is a show all about fun. It's a really fun show.
Yeah, I'm having fun.
Just don't bring any S's to any nouns. You're going to pluralize, and then you can join us, and things will be good.
Yeah. Cool. So, and then there's some smaller news stuff, and then I have a Sonic game to talk about. So it's a pretty standard episode. Cool. So yeah, this Nintendo Direct. This is kind of old news at this point because it happened like right after we recorded our last episode.
Yep.
So I was thinking about just going through the games, and we can chime in on our level of stoked, and then move on.
Yep.
And I'm going through the games in the official PR order, not necessarily the order they appeared in the video. This is the PR statement. So, first one in the PR statement is Dark Souls Remastered. And John, I'm just super curious what you think about this, because you have no history with this series at all.
Right. I think it's cool. I'm very happy that it'll be on Switch, but I can't see myself playing it because, like a game that prides itself on being really difficult and stuff is not something that I'm that excited about.
Yeah. Cool. I've dabbled in this series. I have played the original Dark Souls. I like the world. I like the idea of these games on paper. I'm glad people enjoy them. I don't think these games are fun at all to me. So I will probably pass on this on Switch. Um, Next up, Mario Tennis Aces. And this one I may not pass on. I love the Mario Tennis games. I love the like N64 game and like the Game Boy games. I skipped the Wii U game, which I think a lot of people did. I also actually skipped the 3DS game, which was a little more well received. But this one seems like kind of like the total package here. You're getting like the always solid Mario Tennis gameplay, and you're getting some sort of like RPG story mode as well. What are your thoughts on this?
Very excited. Very excited for Mario Tennis Aces. It's been a while since I've played a Mario Tennis game. Also, tennis is my favorite sport, IRL. Yeah, I'm totally excited. I think the Switch is a perfect platform for a game like tennis, Mario Tennis. A console Mario Tennis is cool, but it kind of limits your opportunities to play it. But Mario Tennis on Switch, which I can take with me, bring to a friend's house, play while waiting at a doctor's appointment with my son or something. You know what I mean? It just opens up a lot of opportunities and situations in which I'd want to play a tennis game. And I think the fact that it has some kind of story mode is really exciting. I don't know how much information there is out there about what the story mode is, so I'm not totally convinced it'll be like this full-blown RPG story mode like we would want it to be based on previous Mario Tennis games. Although it is being developed by Camelot, and they've done that before, so hopefully it is what we like it to be. But I'm just like slightly. I don't know. Not skeptical is not the right word, but I'm not completely convinced it'll be like the full blown RPG style story mode that people hope it will be. But it certainly could be. That would be awesome. That's what people have been asking for. So It does sort of seem like a reaction to, interest from players and what people have been asking for. But
I mean, personally, like, I don't need a 30-hour tennis RPG. Like, if it's like a 5-hour, like, fun thing to like go collect some stuff and do some like random missions and mini games and talk to some weird characters for 5 hours, like, I would totally be cool with that as like an addition and a single player mode, kind of alongside the like really solid tennis gameplay.
Yeah, that'd probably be the ideal situation for me personally. It's just that I've seen a lot of, oh my God, they're giving us exactly what we wanted for and exactly what we've gotten in the past conversation. And I just don't know that they've made that promise. Like story mode, yes. Exactly what you hope it'll be. Let's wait and see. That's where I'm at.
Sure.
Yeah.
The other thing that I believe is an unknown on this is if it's going to offer online play.
Oh yeah.
Which I can't seem to find any information about. But this is one of those games that if like both of us are getting it, I would hope it would have online play so that we could try that out sometime.
2018 is uncharted territory when it comes to online with Switch. So hopefully it's a situation where they're not ready to talk about what online looks like in 2018 for Switch, and so they're not discussing it in terms of games like Mario Tennis Aces. It would be definitely a big. What's the tennis metaphor or analogy here? Like a big.
I would love it. Personally,
love. Oh, okay, Nintendo 30 Ryan Love. I was gonna say it would be a big miss. You know what I mean? Like I think they just call it missing. Well, the tennis players never miss they never really swing to hit a ball and then just miss it. But
I do when I play tennis. It happens a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, that would be super cool if a game like this had like a Splatoon style like leveling system where you could like, grow your rank and stuff by playing online. And I don't know, that would actually give it a lot of longevity, I think. Even though like I think the game's going to be super fun just to have for like local multiplayer and stuff. That could be really cool.
Yeah, I agree. Although I think it would have to be more like Mario Kart Online or something, where you get points next to your name or something. But like it's a pretty simple game, so you wouldn't want it to be like ability
no
based or whatever.
But just something like so you're feeling like constant progression,
right?
When you play, it's not like, oh, I'm just playing these matches for,
or just constant achievement, right? Like you're getting something, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And maybe like after you get like a X amount of points or something, you unlock like a new shirt for Waluigi or something. Like that would be super cool. Just like aesthetic stuff. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, this game's super duper on my radar.
It's probably the one I'm most excited about from the Direct, actually, to be honest. So
it's
TBH.
It's in my top 4. We will get to some of these other ones in a moment. All right. Moving on. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze with Funky Mode. Yep.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I am as well. Did you finish Tropical Freeze on Wii U?
You know what? I never touched it, Old Sport. I don't own it. What? I've never played it.
Oh my goodness.
That's why I'm so excited. Yeah, I finished Donkey Kong Country Returns on the Wii, which feels like forever ago. It feels like so long ago. It's probably 8 years or 9 years or something. How long would it have been? I don't know. Would have been a long time ago. So anyway, well, okay. Yeah, I played that one. I loved it. It was fantastic. For some reason, I don't know why, but I never got Tropical Freeze on the Wii U. Even when it dropped down, I think it dropped down to like $20 at some point. Like
I got it for free.
For free?
Yeah, it was like in the My Nintendo Rewards like store closing when they had all those games you could use like your points for at the very end.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it from there, digitally.
Okay.
And yeah, because I know I didn't buy it when it came out, for whatever reason, but I did get it digitally.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm super excited for it. And I love the Funky Kong thing too, because I know the game is hard. I don't think I would use Funky Kong.
I'm totally going to use Funky Kong because this is a game that I got like 75% of the way through it and then got really frustrated and just stopped playing. So,
well, it's just that I'm a real gamer guy. You know what I mean? So I don't think I could use Funky Kong because I'm too good at games.
Guy.
Yeah, no, I'm really cool. Like I'm good at hard games. But I think it's cool that Funky Kong is there because, like, you know, my kids, from what I've heard about Tropical Freeze, would not be able to really play this game for too long. But with Funky Kong, and the design is great.
What if I told you I just really like the character of Funky Kong and I'm really
that's what I'm saying.
To play as him?
Yeah, because the design I think is awesome also. So
yeah,
I'm there. I love it.
Yeah. I love like someone wrote this on Twitter that like Funky Kong is like an amazing easy mode because he's just too cool to die. Like I just love the idea of him like surfing on spikes and stuff. Like it's so great. Like somehow Funky Kong is like kind of the worst thing in the world. It's like the most like mid-90s like really lame character action platformer character design, but like somehow in 2018 it like totally makes sense in this context, and I'm really stoked for it. And like, to be honest, this game, like, I really loved the visuals and especially the music, that David Wise soundtrack. And I really just want to experience all that, but I don't want to just like keep replaying some of those later levels over and over again. So I'm totally on board for the funky mode. And maybe if I care enough, I'll go back and play through it again with the regular way. But as of right now, like I'm feeling pretty good about funky. I'm feeling pretty funky about good. Yeah. Cool. Next one, Kirby Star Allies. This looks very similar to me to Return to Dreamland on the Wii. Like your typical Kirby side-scrolling platformer with some multiplayer elements, and also kind of like a Dragon Quest V like monster recruitment angle as well for I guess if you're playing single player. Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is probably going to be another super solid Kirby game that I'm going to buy and enjoy. But it's also like not, it doesn't feel like super surprising or like really exciting at the same time.
Yeah, that's about exactly where I'm at with it also.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it, but not lighting the world on fire for me like Funky Kong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's hard to get funkier than Funky Kong. All right, this next one I'm super excited about. The World Ends With You Final Remix. It is an updated port of the 2008 DS game from Square Enix, and it has HD visuals and a new epilogue that adds to the game's story, which I totally don't remember at all. But you can play the game with standard button controls, or you can actually use the Switch touchscreen. Yeah, I really, really adore this game. I think like just the style and the music and the setting and everything is so good. It's kind of a weird game to play. Like I never quite got the feel for like the combat and stuff, but I just super enjoyed being in that world, and I think it's going to be pretty amazing on Switch. Did you ever play this on DS?
No, never played it. Which is weird that I didn't. And I'm looking forward to giving it a shot. I know people love the game and it's really highly regarded and all that stuff, but also then I'm wondering, like, I don't know, because it's one of those DS games, like very DS games. You know?
Oh yeah, it's
like
so DS.
Like it seems like it belongs on the DS with the two screens and all that kind of thing.
Yeah,
and I know that
it was kind of unnecessarily complicated though.
Okay. Well, have you played it on any other? I know it's on iPad and stuff. I don't know where else it's gone.
No, I haven't played any of those versions, but
because I assume this is that. You know what I mean? So I just wonder how it plays like on other platforms or how it will play on Switch. But I'm sure it will be, serviceable. But I just wonder, like, is it going to lose something being not on the DS?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. Yeah. Well, that's good then. That makes me happy.
I always felt like I sort of just wanted the game to be like a normal like JRPG you play with buttons and not like doing crazy slashes on the bottom screen and all of that stuff. Actually, I don't even remember if it was a slasher. I honestly don't even remember. Like, it's been so long since I actually played the game. I do remember like the whole dual screen combat stuff and like arrows being everywhere, like looking like a glitched version of DDR. I remember being like, is this really necessary for this game? but still like also really enjoying it. So
okay.
I don't know. Okay. Next, is the world ready to buy Hyrule Warriors for the third time?
I only bought it once.
Okay. I bought it twice.
I didn't like it that much. I know you loved it. You and Lindsay played a ton of it and everything.
Yeah.
Like I didn't love it, but for some reason, I kind of want to buy it again. I don't. I feel like I won't like it the next. This time either.
You'll probably like it.
I don't know. Like, yeah, maybe.
I mean, I loved it on Wii U. I played it like dozens and dozens of hours on Wii U, like so much. Um, and then I bought it on 3DS, and I was like, wow, now I can play this anywhere. And then starting over from the very beginning with all of my characters at level 1, I was just like, I can't do this again. Like, I can't put another 80 or 90 hours into this game.
Yeah, and how about having like 20% as many characters on the screen and having it run at like 8 frames per second and stuff? Like, how did that?
It was fine on the new 3DS.
Oh,
It was, yeah. I mean, it was obviously
reasonable
like
on the new 3DS,
but
yeah.
the frame rate and stuff was fine.
But not that many. Like it's a game where when you played on the Wii U, there was like a million characters on screen.
Yeah,
and I think that was reduced on 3DS, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. This game, like I played 5 hours of it or so. And then I got to a point where they were like, hey, be everywhere on the map all at the same time. And I was like, no, thanks. This sucks. And that's when I stopped. So I don't know. It got like people talk about it being an easy game, but for me, it got to be like they want me to do like everything all at the same time. And it's too much to juggle. Yeah. Like but I guess I want to sign up for more of that. I don't know, because I watched the trailer and I was like, yeah, let's do this.
Well, yeah. And then I'm like, there's no way I'm going to buy this game again. And then I'm like, oh, Zelda in her Breath of the Wild costume? Done. No, I honestly, like, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I could, like, physically and emotionally do it again. We'll see. I'll probably buy it, but I'm gonna feel real weird about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So next one. This is probably the most exciting game for me. Out of this direct. SNK Heroines Tag Team Frenzy. This is essentially the spiritual successor to there was a Neo Geo Pocket Color game back in the day on that wonderful underrated system called Gals Fighters, which was basically like chibi versions of the girls from all the SNK fighting game series fighting each other. No boys allowed. Yeah, this seems to be kind of a spiritual successor to that, but it's definitely more of an anime style rather than like the chibi like pocket fighter look from Gals Fighters. But it's supposedly going to be kind of a simplified version of the SNK fighting formula that you see in, like, I guess most recently King of Fighters 14, with like some one button special moves and that sort of thing. So hopefully it will still like have depth but not require like a lot of like memorization of moves and like crazy reflexes. I'm kind of thinking of it more as like something akin to like Smash, in that like you don't have like the input is more simple than something like Street Fighter 5, but like there's still like a lot of mechanics and depth going on there. So yeah, this was like completely out of the blue. I love King of Fighters 14 on PS4. It's probably my favorite fighting game in the last like decade, even though I'm terrible at it. And I was like, I've been eagerly anticipating the next SNK fighter. And I was expecting the next SNK fighter to be like another like PS4 exclusive. And and this game is also coming to PS4, but there's a Switch version as well, and that was like kind of the way the game debuted. So that's just really, really exciting to me. And I'm super stoked for it. Probably, yeah, like I said, this is the game I'm most excited for from the direct.
Cool.
Yeah, I know you're more of a Street Fighter guy.
Yeah,
But,
I mean, it looks cool. It's just like, yeah, I don't have much personal attachment to it, but I don't know. We'll see. Is this like is it going to be like a full priced game? Is it like a retail style, like full on game? Do we know? Or
yeah,
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see what the pricing situation was like. King of Fighters 14 was a full priced PS4 game, but like they have consistently added to that game with a lot of like free updates. They actually like completely with a patch like overhauled the visuals and made the game like look better like across the board at one point. And so they SNK like really has been really good about supporting their games. So like I'm pretty convinced that this is going to be like a really good value.
Yeah, it's not that I'm questioning if it's worth a full price. It's just more of a situation where it's like to not take a chance, but to jump in on a game that I'm like only kind of excited about. Like at $60 is tougher than like if you were like, oh, it's a $25 game, then I'd probably be sitting here now saying like, I'll definitely get it, you know. But at $60, again, not that it's not worth $60, but like, will I?
Yeah.
Wanna...
Amazon has it listed at 50.
Okay.
$49.99, which is cool.
Okay. Well, and I could get it
like
from
20% discount.
Yeah, 40 from Best Buy, so maybe.
Yeah. So yeah. Also they have Dark Souls Remastered at $39.99.
Yeah, see, but Tropical Freeze is going to be 60. That's something that I feel like they should.
That Nintendo tax.
It should be $40, you know, maybe.
Yeah, World Ends With You is listed as 60, Kirby's listed as 60, Hyrule Warriors is 60, Mario Tennis is 60.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. Also, while I'm looking on here, this is not in our notes, but Scribblenauts Showdown was announced. Did you ever play the Scribblenauts games?
No.
I played the one that launched with the Wii U. And I didn't really get into it, but Lindsay liked it a bunch. So
that's cool.
Cool. I know some people are stoked for that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a series that's very, very, very loved. So cool that that's coming to Switch. All right. Another game. This is one that I think should totally be on your radar, John. This is probably my second most anticipated game from this direct, and that is Ys 4. Whoa, Ys 4 came out a long time ago. Ys 8. And that is an action RPG from Falcom. This game was already released on PS4, and now it is coming to Switch. Did this look appealing to you at all?
No. I mean, it's appealing to me mostly in terms of like I immediately texted our friend Chris and was like, well, now you have to get a Switch. There will be an Ys game on it, you know? I don't think he's played any modern Ys games, but he loved Ys on TurboGrafx. So,
so do I. It's so good.
And he was like, I told him it's coming out this summer, and he's like, I will have a Switch by then. I will make sure I get a Switch so I can play the Ys game. Now, he's probably thinking that this is the only place he can play it, because he does have a PS4, which he can just play on there.
Don't tell him about that PS4 version. It's bad.
I'm going to tell him about the Lacrimosa. I'm going to tell him about the Dana, but I'm not going to tell him about the PS4 version, you know? So, no, I don't know. I mean, like, you know, I bring this up all the time when discussing RPGs, but I play like one or two a year at most. I don't know if the Lacrimosa of Dana is going to be the one that I decide to play this year, but it's cool. I'm you know, I'm happy it's coming to Switch, and with the East games proliferating on the Vita, I think it makes sense to now kind of move that franchise or that series to Switch. So
Yeah, yeah, it kind of went from, I mean, there were PC versions, but the series has kind of hung out, like especially on PSP, and then Vita got I think two East games, um Origin and um the East 4 remake. Um and yeah, now it kind of makes sense. I'm really excited about Falcom supporting the Switch. I would love for them to like go back into their catalog and release stuff like Xanadu Next and the Trails series, which I kind of dug into a bit, but never all the way. But I really liked those games when I played them. East is awesome. If you're not like familiar with the series, it is kind of its own. It has a unique place in like um, the JRPG genre in 2018 because it's I haven't actually played East 8 yet because I bought it right when it came out, and then and then the NIS, the publisher, was like, we did a really bad job localizing this game, so we'll have a patch coming out in like 4 months. And then I was like, well, I don't want to play this game with a you know, with like a bad localization. And so then it just like sat on my shelf, and then it was, announced for Switch, and I was like, well, I guess I'll just sell my PS4 copy. um but because I'm totally gonna, like, an RPG like this, I'm totally gonna get so much more play out of it on a system with portable capabilities. So but yeah, the series is awesome. It's an action RPG, think like Secret of Mana or like Kingdom Hearts, but it also has like a like pretty great like loot mechanics where you're getting lots of like weird items and stuff that enemies drop, and you're also, at least in some of the games like post East 7, you're also, you can like chain together combos on like the overworld to like keep getting like earn bonus like money and XP. Also, the boss battles are basically like 8-bit platformer, like Castlevania boss battles, essentially, where you have to like figure out boss patterns and stuff, and they're like pretty challenging but like fair. And they're just super exhilarating and fun. And then also, the music is amazing. It is like total like synth butt rock that makes you want to like just jump through a window. Like, it's so good. So yeah, like East is like it, the anime style like character designs and like dumb outfits on the women, like kind of sell the game short, I think, because it actually is like a really, really unique and cool series in its like current iteration, where like I feel like the series made like a big shift after like um, E7, and I'm assuming this is going to be kind of more of that. So it's really, really great stuff. So I hope it's on everyone's radar, because it is like very unique, even though it may not seem that way from first glance. Okay, 3 more to go through. This will probably be pretty quick. Payday 2.
Yep. Nope.
Cool.
No.
Faye.
More interested in Faye. Seems interesting. I know. Yeah, I don't know. It looks cool. It looks like one of those games where it's like could be really unique and interesting, or it could be one that's trying really hard to be unique and interesting. We'll see. But it looks cool. And is it only coming to Switch? I think it seems like it's a Switch.
No, it's like super multi-platform, I think,
Oh, is
because
it?
it's an
Okay.
EA game.
Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah,
yeah, I think it looks interesting for sure.
yeah. And then last, Celeste.
Mm-hmm. Celeste, I'm excited about.
I am
Celeste,
too.
I believe was in the initial like Switch kind of, and not the initial announcement video because that didn't really have any games in it, but the one they did last January or whenever it was.
Yeah, what wasn't in like was it in the Nindies video?
I don't
Like
know.
that pre-launch Nindies video
I think
that
it
came
was.
out like
I think it was in the first Switch, like the first time we ever saw any Switch
huh.
gameplay. I think it was in that video, but then it was
Oh,
kind of like
yeah.
never heard about it for so long afterwards.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm super stoked for this. I think the game like looks awesome. I really love the art in it, and I think the assist mode that they've talked about sounds awesome. In the PR thing, it says playing in assist mode lets players tweak the difficulty from a slower pace to full on invincibility. And then for the more hardcore players who love a good challenge like you, John,
mm,
unlockable B-side chapters offer even more challenging adventures.
yeah,
So, I mean, you'll probably play this game completely on B-sides.
I mean, as a real gamer guy, yeah, kind of have
Yeah,
to, right?
yeah. Um, so yeah, that was the Nintendo Direct Mini, and it was like, what was it, like 11 minutes long or something, the actual presentation?
Yeah, 15. Yes.
But we just spent way longer than that. Talking about all this stuff because it's interesting. This is like a really cool variety of games, and it's like a good mix of like first and third party games. Um, and yeah, I think it's pretty exciting. There's at least 5 games here that I think I will end up buying for sure in the first half of this year. So
Yeah,
that's pretty
things are
cool.
looking up, definitely.
Always.
Mm.
All right. Detective Pikachu comes to the West March 23rd. Pikachu's got a man's voice. He's a talking human, but he's a Pikachu and he's a detective.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Coming to 3DS. Did you watch the trailer?
No.
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
You should watch it.
Okay.
Like I knew I was like on board for this because, I have been like we've been pretty pro Detective Pikachu
Mm.
on this podcast, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
But after I watched the trailer, I was dying. Like it's it's so good.
Okay.
You should watch the trailer.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and yeah. Yep, gonna buy that game.
And the oversized amiibo too.
Oh, for sure. Obs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Okay.
You're gonna have a giant Pikachu who's a detective on my shelf.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Okay, 2 really quick announcements before we get into I guess the last like big piece of news. Kid Nicky Radical Ninja coming to Switch next week. Did you ever play Kid Nicky Radical Ninja on the NES?
No, I did not play Kid Nicky Radical Ninja, but I'm aware of it. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's so I've never played the arcade mode or the arcade game. But I love the NES game. It's so goofy and the localization is absurd in like the best way possible. So I'm excited. I think it's a pretty fun game. I wonder if like the localization will shine through in the arcade version or if that was something that was just in the NES version, but either way, it's gonna be like $7 or whatever on Switch thanks to Hamster, and I am totally down for it next week.
Speaking of Hamster and Switch and stuff, do I get the sci-fi volleyball game that just came out? Like, what is that game that
Power Spikes 2?
Yeah, do I get that game?
I don't know. I haven't bought that one yet.
Okay. All right.
I've never played it.
Okay.
I'm saying probably
buy
the sci-fi volleyball game.
Yeah. I saw the
Like,
announcement and I was like,
that's what my gut is telling me.
volleyball games are fun for sure.
Yeah.
It's like sci-fi. I don't know. I think I'm
I
into it.
just don't know if I need to have played Power Spikes 1
Well,
to
that's true.
understand the
That's a
story.
good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
All right. One, two other games coming out next week. Total surprises. We are getting another couple of Psycho games. So Psycho is the developer of Gunbird and Strikers 1945, and they make awesome shooters. Both Gunbird and Strikers 1945 made my top 30 games of the year on Switch list, which you can check out at NintendoFunClubPodcast.com. These games are awesome. These ports are great. And next week, they are releasing Strikers 1945 2 and Zero Gunner 2, which are two awesome shooters from an awesome developer. So again, just I'm definitely going to buy both of these. I love pretty much every game that Psycho has made, and I am really hoping that we get Cannon Spike at some point in Gunbird too. But either way, if you're into shooters, arcade style shooters, like these are great. I would recommend Gunbird as a starting point. And then if you like that, then just go deep into the Psycho. So, all right, now the next news was I guess the big one. Nintendo announced a new thing. It's a very Nintendo thing. Nintendo Labo.
Nintendo Labo.
What is Nintendo Labo, John?
Well, Nintendo Labo is a super cool and creative new kind of Switch. I don't know what you call it, platform or what, but it is a cardboard craft Switch software and accessory line. So, yeah, we heard earlier last week or earlier this week, actually, I guess, that there was going to be some kind of kid focused Nintendo announcement on Thursday evening, and it was one of those things where it's like, okay, well, they just did a direct, so this is probably gonna be something really small. I was thinking, maybe we were thinking something along the lines of like a Mario Party style game, or even I think maybe you brought up the idea like, well, perhaps it'll be like an amiibo focused game, like actually like a good game that focuses on amiibo, which would also be cool.
Or Geist too.
Yeah, or Geist too, right? But yeah, it turns out it's this like really interesting and unique idea from Nintendo that involves building basically like controller, what we call them, accessories or different controller, input, tools for the Joy-Con out of cardboard, and I love it. It's I don't know, it's amazing. I love it. I'm really excited about it. I was watching the release. Sorry, it was just last thing. I was watching that announcement video, and as soon as I saw what it was, I got pumped, and then I continued getting more excited. And then they showed like that you could color them and like design them in your own way and make them look unique. And I was like, oh, this is perfect. I love it. So yeah, I'm really, really excited about it.
Yeah, I like my initial reaction, I think, was like a bit more tempered, where I was like, yeah, this is cool, but I don't really know like where the game part of it is, and I don't know if it's like necessarily something that like I would really appreciate, because I'm not like a super like hands-on creative person. I don't do a lot of arts and crafts really, but then watching and reading more about it and seeing how the technology works is kind of where I got excited. Like the realization that the remote control car, that you make the cardboard like casing for it, and then you put the Joy-Con in each side, and then you use the touch screen to control it, and it controls based on the HD rumble in the Joy-Con. And like that, like synergizing of the technology of the Switch is what really got me excited, because
Yeah.
I was just like, that's brilliant. Like, who would have thought of that? Nintendo.
Hmm.
Like, that's it. Like, it's so smart and so cool. And so now I'm like super on board, just because I want to, experience that technology. Kind of like, I want to have I just want to get my hands on it, and because it's like a cool gadget at this point, like a Sphero or something, like where you're just like, oh, this is crazy, like, so cool.
Yeah. And I was really, really excited from the announcement. And then we started talking price
Mm,
over our like text conversation. And then I got a little less excited.
mhm,
But now I'm really back on board though, because I feel like once I went to the site and saw the different there's two packages available,
mhm.
Toy-Con variety
Oh,
kit, Toy-Con
such a
1.
good word.
Yeah.
Such a good word. I love it.
Toy-Con 1 and Toy-Con 2. So Toy-Con 1 is the variety kit, and that's $70. And I heard that number $70, and I was like, for some cardboard, $70. But then like you look at it, and it's 5 different devices that you can make with I think, yeah, 5 different ones with the uh, Toy-Cons, 5 different Toy-Cons, 5 different things. You get the piano, you got the motorcycle controller and the fishing pole and like all this different stuff.
Two
So for
remote control cars.
all of that for that price, I think, and it comes with the software too, obviously, but
Yeah.
I don't think the software will be super in depth or like anything too crazy, but
Hmm.
for all of that for $70, I think that's really reasonable and makes a lot of sense. I'm sure it's going to be like, really heavy, high quality cardboard, and I just, yeah, I think it completely is a good price. The robot kit is $80, and it's
Hmm.
just the robot kit. So
Yeah.
that one I'm personally less excited about, because I kind of feel like, I don't know. It sort of seems like something like with the Wii and the Wii U era, where sometimes you'd get games that were really designed around or attached to a specific kind of motion input method, and you'd play them and think, like maybe this would just be more fun without that. And
Yeah.
I'm kind of getting that vibe on the robot one, like watching the kid, like, but it's for kids, right? So like for me, do I really want to sit there and punch and kick for hours on end, with this big robot contraption on me? I don't know.
Kinda.
I mean, I kind of do, yeah,
Yeah.
but
Like,
I mean, kind of,
I mean,
but
let's be real. Like, kind of. Like, it kind of feels like you're acting out like your like Gundam or Pacific Rim like fantasy here.
yeah, but see, like exactly, like like that sounds like a
Uh,
novelty, like the idea of doing that for
sure.
but I think for kids it'll be really fun. It's just that like that one's $10.
Yeah, I want to know if that kit even fits adults, because it's like so tied to, like, it's like literally from like your like shoulders to your feet,
Yeah.
all the parts of it. And like I do have to wonder, like I'm a like 5'11" dude, like is this even going to like work on me,
I think
kind
so,
of thing,
because
like,
it's got the string or the cable or whatever that you kind of
yeah,
go from the arms to and feet to the box on your back. So I'm sure that's adjustable or whatever. But
yeah,
because it's got to be taut. You know what I mean? It's got to be just the right length to
right,
work. So I'm sure, I would think
yeah,
it's very customizable. But I guess my feeling about the whole situation, the Nintendo Labo, is that it's like so creative, and it's
hmm,
so unique and interesting. And that's why the variety kit to me is the one that really is emblematic of what the whole idea is. And the
hmm,
robot kit is cool, but it's just not quite as creative or interesting
yeah.
to me. I mean, it's still great, but I'm much more excited to spend $10 less and get 5 different things than I am to get spend 80 and get the one thing. So
Sure. Sure.
But if I was 8, then the robot might be the most exciting one. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're both going to be popular.
But I do think like there is potential for the robot game to be more fully realized.
Yeah, that's true.
And that is like a Miyamoto joint. So that's the part where I'm like, maybe. But I pre-ordered the variety kit. The robot kit, I'm going to wait for either more impressions or just hold out until reviews hit. Like I'm not writing it off completely though,
No,
because
yeah, no.
like it is a Miyamoto game. So
Now, where did you get your pre-order from?
Amazon.
Okay, because Best Buy is doing the 20% off. I don't know if you saw that or not.
Oh, are you
Yeah,
serious?
and I don't think Amazon is yet, right? So
No, they are not.
we're both Gamers Club Unlocked members,
Uh-huh.
being real cool guy gamers that like we are.
Uh-huh.
So we
Yeah,
had
for sure.
you got to join the club. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, the club is that's a necessity. So
Uh-huh.
anyway, $70 becomes what, 56, 54, something like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
I need to
that's when the variety kit's like $70, $50 for a game, $20 for some cardboard, however you want to look at it. Like totally makes sense. Or $50 for the cardboard, $20 for the
Yeah.
game. I'm totally fine. But once that $70 number drops down to $56, I'm like, are you like it's
Oh. Oh
fantastic.
yeah.
No problem. So I haven't pre-ordered yet, but I
Hmm.
will get my pre-order or my purchase on day one or whatever you want to say from Best Buy because of that 20% off. So
Cool. Thanks for the heads up on that. I will
yeah,
change my pre-order right away.
yeah.
Um, nice. I
And
so like
that would drop the robot kit down to what, $64, I think. So
yeah, okay. I'll probably end up pre-ordering both.
hey,
Um, let's be real.
on
Um,
Thursday you were like, I don't know if I'm gonna get either. And then by Friday morning you were like, totally got that pre-order in. So
well,
I know
I
how
told you like it was a process for me.
yeah,
I had
with
to
you
process
it
it.
escalates pretty quickly, Ryan. So I'm pretty we could bet some fries on it if you want to, but I know you're gonna get that robot kit. So
So, okay, so here are the things that really excite me about Nintendo Labo. Um I I think it is a total fair assessment to say that the Nintendo fan base includes some of the most brilliant and creative people in like the realm of video games. We see this through cosplay and through like crazy crafts and everything else. And we see companies like Fangamer that made their entire business off like making fan materials for Earthbound and Mother 3. So I am so excited to see what like the community does with this and how people like trick out their Labo kits. And there's just going to be amazing stuff. Like I think there's going to be like this is going to be one of those things where there's like a Kotaku article every other day about like check out what this fan did. They made the entire Hyrule field or something. Like I don't know.
yeah.
I don't even know what it's going to be, but it's going to be insane. Um and then also I'm really excited about the potential of this for like third party and for other franchises because like some stuff would there's some like really obvious things that could happen here. Like you could have like I don't know, like ping pong rackets, or I don't know, like kind of going back to like the that kind of like nasty period where there were all those like Wii accessories clogging up shelf space. Like some of that stuff. But I also think that there's like really cool things that could happen with this. My first thought was thinking about rhythm games, and specifically thinking about something like Taiko Drum Master and how that series is cool. It's super fun in the arcade, but it involves a taiko drum and your two drumsticks. And they make like kits and stuff that have really only been released in Japan, aside from like the PS2 one that came out here a while ago. They make these kits, but they're like super expensive. But like I feel like you could make a pretty close approximation of something like that with like a Labo version, and it could be cool. Maybe it would be completely stupid, but I don't know. It's kind of exciting to think about like that sort of stuff. And then like even like thinking about like the robot kit, like maybe Nintendo will be like, okay, we made this kind of like fun like tech demo game with this kit. Yeah, now we're gonna make a new like custom robo game with like these like deep like RPG systems and stuff in it that you can also like use your robot kit for. I was always like super fascinated back in the Wii era of like I have this thing for games that use the balance board that aren't Wii Fit. um, and I always just thought like that stuff was super interesting, like in Punch Out or the Monkey Ball game and stuff, like just weird implementations of the technology and gadgets. Yeah, it's gimmicky, and I know a lot of people are like, I just want to sit down with my DualShock controller and not move and stuff. And yeah, that's mostly me most of the time, because I'm like also like a super lazy gamer dude. But also like this stuff is cool. Like there's still like some childlike wonder to it, and I think that's really really exciting.
Yeah, I think I agree. It's definitely really exciting and very cool and so creative. I guess I don't know if I'm that creative though, because in my like I'm thinking about it and I'm thinking, maybe like when a new Metroid game comes out, there'll be like a little bonus, like a little Metroid mini game type thing that you could do with the robot or games. I don't know. I feel like for the most part it's going to be the Labo games that the Labo stuff works with and is designed for. But I do think it would be cool, like once I buy this like robot Labo, it would be nice if they, as new games came out, over time and stuff, if they found ways to incentivize or just like kind of integrate that. But I don't see them doing it necessarily on a larger scale, where there's new games being designed for it. Although who knows, maybe they will. But I guess my initial thought is, maybe they can, like in Zelda, maybe we'll have like a fishing mini game, or you can use the fishing pole. You know what I mean?
That would be awesome. It would be cool if they could like patch stuff like that into games we already had too.
Sure. Yeah.
Like that would be really exciting.
Yeah, but with like the motorcycle one, I was like, oh yeah, cool. Then we could start playing all of our driving games with this motorcycle thing. But then I thought about it, it's like, well, it's got to be like first person, right? If you're doing that, and like I don't know, it just seems like I wonder if it will. I feel like it probably won't be used too much outside of the Labo games, but we'll see.
Yeah. Oh man, Sega, this is the time. Bring back Sega bass fishing with that fishing rod.
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right. We have been going on and on for a while here. Let's just talk quickly about some games we've been playing and then we out. So what have you been playing?
Oh
my god, I just saw your notes.
Yeah, I think I'll hold off on talking about Oxenfree because I haven't played too much of it yet.
Okay.
I just started, but it's definitely has not hooked me at this point. Well, I'll just say that. But
okay.
I think I need to give it more time before I try to talk about it on the show. I've been playing some Mario Kart Wii, which is a weird thing, but at my school we have this thing called advisory, which is like almost like a homeroom type class. And so some of what we do in advisory is like team building type stuff and like games and things that you do like with a group just to hang out and have like we kind of relax and build some community, you know what I'm saying? So I brought my Wii in, and once in a while we've been playing Mario Kart Wii. We have like a little double elimination tournament going on here. And it turns out that I immediately got double eliminated. I lost in the winners bracket, and then I lost my first losers bracket match too. So I guess I suck. But I don't know. Mario Kart Wii is not impressing me when I'm returning to it. I'm like, oh,
It's not good.
it's not very pretty. It's not very
Nope.
exciting. Like, I don't know. It's not doing too much for
It's
me.
yeah, it's my least favorite Mario Kart, like
Well,
completely.
and it followed DS, which is like one of the best Mario Kart games.
Yep.
You know, Mario Kart DS is so good, and then
Yeah. I think like
the Wii was a
I
stinker.
dislike just about every new course in
Mm,
Mario Kart Wii, and
hmm.
like it bums me out when those courses appear in like Mario Kart 7 or 8.
Mm.
I like there's that game.
Yeah, so not the best Mario Kart game. And
No.
then the other thing I've been playing a little bit is the Dragon Quest Builders demo, and
Oh,
I'm all about that so far. I'm really enjoying that. It's cool.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Um,
booted it up just to see how it ran. And it's like totally smooth.
hmm.
Like it's good. I played it on PS4.
Right.
But no, it's totally good.
Yep. I mean, very fetch questy so far.
Yeah.
But then again, like I play Minecraft, I'm like, what am I supposed to be doing right now? You know, so like the
Hmm.
fact that it gives you objectives and stuff like that is yeah, maybe a good thing, I think, for me. So
For
I haven't
sure.
got my son to play it yet. I want him to try it because I think he could, maybe he'll like it, and it'd be cool for him to get into a game like that. But you know, he loves Minecraft, so I don't know if he'll be turned off by the more kind of defined structure of the game, or
Mhm.
if he'll be into it. I don't know. We'll see. But
Yeah, yeah. Also like the music is so good. Like I love the remixes of those original DQ tunes.
yeah, because like you know, like Minecraft, the look and everything is. I guess you would think on paper it would be appealing to me, but there's not that much about the Minecraft thing that appeals to me.
Mhm.
Like it's pixelated, but I don't really think it's that attractive looking, and I don't
Yeah.
like the music that much. And you know, then Dragon Quest Builders is like, oh, it's like that Minecraft idea, except a little more structured and with like 10 times as much charm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, that game also has like a super like underrated clever localization as
Hmm.
well. That I don't think people ever really talk about, but I think the writing in that game is super good and super funny.
Yeah.
Which like you definitely don't expect in a game like that. So
Okay. Yeah.
cool. Okay, real quick. I got some ACA Neo Geo games I've been playing.
Oh, really? Did you get some new Arcade Archives games? Did you do
Yeah,
that? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
you may not believe it, but I bought a few. Um, so after the Nintendo Direct, when they announced that SNK Heroines, they announced that Art of Fighting 2 was coming to the Switch eShop that same day. So I was like, cool, Art of Fighting 2. I've never really played this one. So I bought it. Art of Fighting 2, not a very good fighting game.
Mm.
Not great. However, it has some of the most amazing sprites you've ever seen. Like the game is super stiff. It just does not feel as good as like any other SNK fighting game. Um, but the scaling sprites are so good. Like they're huge sprites and they like get smaller as you get further away. And yeah, it's it's kind of like it's so weird to have like a game from like the early 90s like blow you away like visually. But this game kind of did. I was just like I was so into the sprites. But if you're going to get an Art of Fighting game, definitely get 3 because it plays much better. Unfortunately, it doesn't have as interesting of a visual design, so that's kind of like a bummer. It looks kind of plain, but it definitely plays better. Um, but yeah, other game, Magician Lord is back on the eShop. It was removed, like it launched on the eShop and then was like removed instantly for some reason. I never even got a chance to buy it. But it is back, unfortunately. And this like really sucks for them. Because I don't think people are gonna find this game. It does not show up in the new releases. You have to actually search for it.
Wow.
So yeah, that's a huge bummer for Hamster, and that's maybe kind of a, I don't know if that's a flaw of the um you know eShop ecosystem at this point in the storefront. But that's like, but I guess also, like, make sure your game is good to go before you put it on there, or like make sure it's patchable so you don't have to take it off the store completely. And I have no idea what happened with Magician Lord and why it was pulled. But that just sometimes happens. Maybe it was a rights issue, maybe it was something where like the firmware could be exploited through a loophole or something, who knows. But anyways, the game's back. You have to like search for it though. But Magician Lord is uh a game I like in theory, but I'm not sure I like playing all the time. It's like a Castlevania-esque, like early Castlevania, super like challenging platformer. Like, yeah, definitely think like Castlevania, Ninja Gaiden, that sort of thing. But it also like very much reminds me of like Altered Beast, and I almost feel like the game is like sort of an SNK response to Altered Beast, and like that manifests in so many ways. Like, it, first of all, it's like really kind of stiff to control, and there's like lots of which the controls actively work against you in this like very like punishing world. But also there's like the aesthetic in general just kind of reminds me of Altered Beast, but also you can transform, um getting like, you get orbs and transform and power up. uh so yeah, you transform into different creatures and stuff and get different abilities, and it's pretty cool. It's so hard, and like the game is just so blatantly made to just like make you keep pumping quarters in. um but obviously in the case of like the you know Neo Geo Arcade Archives, you can like set up like pretty much unlimited credits, unlimited continues and stuff, and which makes it like more palatable. But at the same time, it's just like you're just constantly dying. And so it's pretty frustrating, and like I feel like you get abilities and then you lose them when you get hit, so you're like just constantly like, you're like, oh, I'm a cool ninja, I can do oh, I'm back to just my regular dude again, like because I got hit from something. So it's an exercise in frustration to some degree, but it's also like pretty awesome. So that's Magician Lord.
Yeah, I checked out some screenshots and I saw some pretty bitchin' iconography and visual stuff going on there. Like, would not have arrived on a Nintendo system in the 80s or 90s, I'm thinking, based on some of the imagery.
Yeah, no, it's pretty metal, pretty cool. It's just, I wish it was like more fun to play.
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of like the Splatterhouse effect in a way. But I don't know. That kind of stuff is still my jam, despite its flaws. So okay, last thing. And I don't really have like a ton to say about this because I just got it yesterday, but I finally got a copy of the Sonic Gems collection for GameCube, which I don't know why I had slept on this for so long, because it's like a really great package, and I have like every other Sonic anything that appeared on GameCube, so I don't know why it took me this long to get this. But I don't know, like a week ago or so, like I kind of realized that I never played Sonic R, which was released on Saturn and PC. And I was like, I need to fix that. I need to play Sonic R. So I was looking for ways to play it, and I arrived at the Sonic Gems collection, which includes Sonic CD, Sonic the Fighters, and all of the Game Gear Sonic games except for Sonic 1.
Hmm.
Which is weird. But it also includes a Japan only Game Gear Sonic game starring Tails, which I have not played. But what's interesting about the ports here, the Game Gear games are obviously from the Game Gear, but Sonic the Fighters is an arcade port. Sonic CD and Sonic R are not actually the Sega CD or Sega Saturn versions. They are the PC versions. Um, so that's kind of a cool thing because I don't think either of those games are really playable on modern PCs. At this point, like if you get Sonic CD on Steam, you're getting the HD version that came out on on
PS3,
PS3 and
yeah.
Xbox 360 and stuff. So like, if you're into like different versions of these games, like this is a pretty, I don't know, like it's probably the easiest way to play the PC versions of these games because I'm sure they're like a mess on modern hardware and um you can't like buy them digitally. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, last night I played Sonic R for the first time ever, and it was life-changing. This game is so good. I cannot believe I slept on it for so long. I absolutely adore it. I sat down and I played all the way through the game, and I saw the end credits last night. I was so into Sonic R. Um, it's just a super fun, like Mario Kart-esque game, but you're like Sonic characters and you're running. Unless you are Amy Rose, then you're driving a car. But you can be Sonic or Tails or Knuckles. It's super cool. And you're running around and you can jump and you can like, and there's like, you'll be running and there'll be like, in like Mario Kart where there's like a puddle of mud, your favorite band, like on the ground, and you're like, oh, I better avoid that, so it doesn't like slow me down. But in Sonic R, you press the jump button and it's like burn, and like you jump over it, and it's super fun. You can find Chaos Emeralds in the stages, and I think it controls really well. I was a little a little nervous going into it because I know like it was originally a Saturn game, and you could play it with the Knights 3D controller, but it was probably like most people didn't have that, so it was probably kind of designed around digital controls. And D-pad with racing games, not the best feeling these days. But yeah, I was playing with the GameCube controller and it feels like great. You can use the L and R buttons to kind of like lean into turns. So it almost feels like F-Zero GX kind of when I was playing it. So that was super cool. Only real bummer about the game, and I guess why it's not like a super well regarded. Because when I was first playing it, I'm like, wait, why don't people like this game? Because it's definitely not like anyone's favorite Sonic game or like a game people talk about when they're talking about best Sonic games. I was like, so what's the deal with this? But I kind of figured it out by the time I reached the end. Within pretty much an hour, I had seen the end credits. And that was after like, replaying some races a few times to get first place. But yeah, there's not many stages. I think there's only like 5 or 6 stages. And it's pretty bare bones. Like there's just Grand Prix, time trials, and split screen versus. So there's not a ton of replayability to it. I mean, unless you're like into like time trials and stuff. But I think like the courses that are there are pretty cool. Like they actually kind of feel like Sonic stages in there's different paths you can take, and there's like speed boosts and like like loop de loops and stuff, and yeah, it's I don't know, it's super cool, but the final highlight of it is the soundtrack, which I kind of had an idea about the soundtrack going into the going into this. I knew that it was something that I don't know, like people maybe liked ironically, but I like it legitimately. I'm really into this soundtrack. It is a Richard Jacques joint, or Richard Jacques joint. He did the like Western version of like the Sonic CD soundtrack, which definitely has a lot of fans. Personally, I prefer the Japanese version, but I'm also an insufferable weeaboo. But yeah, it's him again, and he brought in a singer named TJ Davis. And this was actually, according to lore, this was at the request of Yuji Naka, the Sonic creator, or co-creator. And he Yuji Naka really wanted to bring in this singer, and then like they recorded a song, and Mr. Naka liked it so much that he was like, she should sing on every track in the game. So every single music track is a full vocal arrangement. And so it really, like, this is, I think, the genesis of the kind of ridiculous Sonic song thing that showed up in like Sonic Adventure and has kind of become like a mainstay of the series now, which I love. I love ridiculous Sonic music, and I love all the vocal tracks, and I love that in Sonic Forces there's a track with the dude from Hoobastank. I think that is great. But yeah, this Sonic R, TJ Davis, she's a UK singer, British singer. She was a backing vocalist for Gary Newman, and she also did some work with Blur. And then I think the most incredible thing I learned from her Wikipedia page is that she was a member of an ABBA tribute band called Bjorn Again.
That's nice. That's awesome.
And that's all I got. But obviously, I am really excited about Sonic R. I love it a ton. I actually was so stoked on Sonic R that I ordered a copy of the Saturn game from Japan, because it's way cheaper to get that game from Japan than to get the Western version. But at some point, I'll probably be talking about Sonic R again, only the Saturn version, on this podcast. So please look forward to it. But Sonic R rules. Sonic Gems Collection is an awesome disc you can get for your GameCube. It's super cheap. Also, if you play your GameCube games on your Wii, it does have progressive scan. So everything like looks pretty nice on like an HD TV as well. So yeah.
Nice. I was thinking I had this, and it turns out that I have the Sonic Mega Collection, not the Gem Collection. So
yep. Yeah, that's the one I've had forever, which is awesome. But that's kind of your like typical Sonic games, the expected ones. But the Gems Collection are the deep cuts,
right?
And yeah, it's super cheap. You can get it like a complete copy for less than $20 shipped these days. So I would highly recommend it. And I highly recommend uh, Sonic R. It's awesome. So, on that note, Bjorn again. I still can't get over that. It's so good. I think I need to like look up some of their stuff. But so cool. Okay, yeah, on that note, I think we should wrap up. You can check out our website, nintendofunclubpodcast.com. You can check out our videos on YouTube. You can subscribe to the podcast on iTunes or whatever other podcast thing you use. As for myself, you can find me on Twitter at Brawn Dwarf, BraWndWarf. How about you, John?
I'm on Twitter at Arcade Ghost.
Cool. Well, thank you a ton for listening, and until next time, still just Bjorn again. Like, so good. I cannot even. Bye.
Bye-bye.